Hey, this is Isaac from Turn Sounds. You say water bottle, I say liquid holder.
Welcome to Just Keep Walking, a podcast focused on the Walking Dead TV show. This episode we'll be discussing the first half of season 10 and what we're looking forward to when the show comes back in a few weeks.
I was going to say,
Hello.
the real Slim Shady over here, he's gone so far.
Comes back. Let's just leave that in. Oh, it's funny. Anyways,
The show that tries its best to...
that's it. Tries its best not to get its words mixed up. I'm your host, Ben, and I'm joined by two co-hosts.
This is true.
This is also true.
Isaac Mark Anthony.
There
Happy
we
to
go.
be here.
I thought I'd just leave the silence, see who wants to try and talk first. There you go. Isaac. And Liam.
Yes, that is me.
We're still getting on our feet. This is episode 2, but
Excellent.
off to a good start. So how are you guys going? All had a good week so far?
So far so good.
So far so good?
Been looking
Fantastic.
forward to this reuniting of this
I have
Absolutely.
epic
Yeah.
podcast.
Me too.
Instantly become the highlight of my day.
That's it. Oh,
Week
good to
even.
hear.
Yeah.
Me too. So today we've got a fun show. We've had the first half of season 10 already, so we're going to be going over that. We can go maybe episode by episode. I've got a few notes that we can talk about, and maybe some stuff from you guys of
Cool.
your thoughts overall,
Sounds
and then maybe just a bit of like hopes for the rest of the season, and also any theories or whatever if you've got any. And then some segments at the end. So yeah, it'll be good.
Nice.
And also, we didn't say this at the start of the last one, but as far as spoilers go, so we'll be doing full spoilers for everything that's been on TV already.
Can I issue the Turn Sounds spoilers
Oh,
ahead?
go for it.
Spoilers ahead!
Beautiful.
Thank
You have been warned.
Only you could do that.
Yeah. It's my pride and joy.
That's it. You're good at it. So full spoilers for anything in the show that has aired already, but the show is fairly notorious for leaks and script leaks and stuff from
Right.
behind the scenes and all that. So any leaks or upcoming spoilers, we're not going to be talking about any of that, and we, I think, try to avoid it ourselves anyway, just because we like to see the show without knowing what's going to happen. So
Have they been
Yeah.
credible in the past? Any of the leaks that have come out, or
I legit saw a video that read out the whole script for the Glenn and Abraham death, and the whole episode for that, it was like completely accurate. So,
Oh, no.
And that was maybe a month before the episode came out.
why would
so
you do that to yourself?
I thought it would be just a theory, but then it happened exactly like that. So
Considering how much they tried to keep it under wraps, that's incredible. Like,
Yeah.
from what I understand, they actually recorded death scenes for each character.
yeah, they went to
So-
pretty extreme
Wow.
lengths
Yeah.
to cover it up, but
Someone
But
still managed to
yeah,
leak it.
That's it somehow, some way. So yeah, there have been some big ones in the past, but as far as theories and stuff go, all theories are welcome as long as they're your theory and they're not based on leaks or anything
Yeah,
like that.
fair enough.
Yeah, so let's get into it. I'll reach over and fade the music down a little bit.
That was a good cold open. I liked it.
There we go, nice
Yeah.
and smooth. So season 10. Hey, maybe. Well, what are your guys' thoughts overall so far? Just briefly, have you enjoyed the season so far?
I have. I'm still finding I enjoyed season 9 more at this
Okay.
stage, but I think maybe for me personally, that was just because I've been hanging out for the Whisperers for a fair few seasons now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
as soon as they came in, I was, hook, line, and sinker, I'm in. Whereas now that they're here, I'm loving it, but not quite as much.
Yeah, the
That's season
excitement of
9,
first
yeah.
seeing them. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Isaac?
Well, I'm as you already know from the perspective of I didn't read any of the comics. I only knew of the Whisperers once we were introduced to them in the actual series, and so I didn't really have any sort of expectation for them. I'm really liking Beta at the moment. I think he almost feels like more of the menacing bad guy than Alpha does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my focus is kind of on him as the main antagonist in a way. Also, I've already talked about Alpha's voice and all of that.
Yeah, right.
But, I am enjoying it. I'm definitely looking forward to when we get back into this, what is it, later this month?
Yeah, I think the
22nd,
20,
isn't it?
yeah,
believe.
something like that, or probably the 23rd here in Australia, because
We
Okay.
go
the
the
time
daylight.
difference, but it's at the same time as America, but it's just that the days line up differently.
It's been different without Rick, as we all knew it would be. But not necessarily for the worse.
Okay.
I will say for myself, not for the worse.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you there. I'm with you. I was expecting it to be a little bit
Kind of bland or like,
yeah. Like you notice that he's not there, but it's not detracting from how much I'm sucked in and enjoying it.
yeah.
That's cool. That's good. Actually, you reminded me of one thing. Well,
Don't you
as far
point
as
at
sorry, as far as spoilers go, comic stuff. I don't. So you don't really watch much, or as far as stuff on YouTube or whatever. Liam and I have in the past, at least. I still do. You probably still do.
Yep.
So we'll avoid probably talking about anything that's from the comics as well. Maybe we can like.
In hindsight, is that all right? Or
Hindsight's all right, but like there's a few, like there's some upcoming deaths in the storyline that happen in the comics that could happen in the show, so maybe we won't talk about
Carol,
those. But yeah, just to get that established.
Who said that?
You're not a big fan of Carol, are you?
Oh, your words, not mine.
Oh, okay. Hey, fair enough. I think a lot of people are in the same shoes right at the moment because
Right.
she's got everyone into this predicament, stuck down in the cave. So yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, for me, as far as the season so far, similar to what you were saying, as far as I think I enjoyed season 9 a bit more so far with how it's going. Definitely feels like a lot of it is, set up for the next half of the season as far as, big conflict with the Whisperers and stuff like that. It's been a really good quality season so far and really good writing and everything. But definitely I think I'll have to wait and see the whole season to sort of pull together my thoughts because I think one of the big things as well that's got me sort of on the edge or in the air at the moment as far as an opinion goes is just so many my phone is not on airplane mode. Oh, there we go. Okay, if you heard that.
We all heard that.
Yeah, but as far as plot lines and stuff like that, there's a lot of loose ends at the moment and a lot of things that could be brought back or could have been just sort of plot lines that didn't go anywhere. So,
Well, that's been the case
Yeah.
even leading up to this season. I mean, the only one that comes to mind is Dwight's wife, like released into the wilderness. Like,
true.
did that ever get?
Well, so he's actually crossed over to Fear the Walking Dead, the spin-off show now. And I've watched the majority of the latest season, but I didn't like it too much.
Yeah,
I think
fair.
a lot of people didn't like it very much. There's some people out there who did, but so I haven't watched it all right up until the end. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think we've seen her show up on that show yet. But he's definitely actively looking for her there. So
And like, then you got like the helicopters, which have been around forever as well. and-
yeah, true.
But what were you sort of talking about as far as loose ends?
Well, actually, maybe we'll get into episode by episode and I'll bring up a few things as
yeah.
we go.
Sounds
and
good.
That reference that. So the first one, Lines We Cross, we sort of, a lot of it revolves around the satellite crashing. You've got scenes taking place in the different locations that all end with the satellite crashing. So you see what all the different characters are up to. What do you guys think of that one overall?
In terms of openers, I was a little bit disappointed personally.
Yeah.
I thought, the satellite crashing, that's why you're going to cross the border?
Yeah, okay.
Like, don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed it, but I thought, I would have liked Carol's rebellion right from the get-go. But I think that would have been a bit nicer to see right off the bat.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, and re-watching it, they did sow a few good seeds, like when she wanted to go get the deer that they'd shot, but he had walked like just over the road, so they couldn't do it, and Daryl was holding her back and stuff like that. So there's a few things good that they set up, and the Whisperer mask that they find in the sand, which oh, poor kids. They can't even play sandcastles anymore without picking up a face.
Yeah, I know.
But,
It's that kind of world you're living in. Oh, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it definitely did a good job setting up the season. A lot of the paranoia and stuff like that. But yeah, I get what you're saying as well. It wasn't a big bang of an opener. It was just like, oh, okay, so a bit of a slower introduction. But
Was that the one where they're all training on the beach?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
thought that was actually okay. I'll reference that later on when we have another segment coming up later in the show.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of, like you say, you've got this threat. Not only have you got the walkers, but now this, this other enemy on the playing field. And it makes sense that you'd have to train at some point.
Yeah.
And I know
definitely.
in like Alexandria or the Kingdom, there's always that one person like swinging a stick around doing that Aikido type, stuff, training. But to actually see battle tactics, essentially,
Yeah.
they're adopting like classic, legionary type fighting styles and stuff. And I think that was actually quite a fun thing to see.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
didn't dislike the episode, and that was actually one of the highlights for me. That specific scene, I
Right.
thought was brilliant.
And you got a zombie with like a full steering wheel stuck in him
Yeah.
or something, like a ship.
Ship anchor, or I don't know. Yeah,
know what it was.
Pirate
It was
zombie.
something.
Yeah, pirate zombie.
That'd be cool.
Oh, write that down. Write that down.
Dogtooth.
Let's see if that's taken
We
yet.
see
Zombie
that coming
parrot.
out on future seasons. That's intellectual property. That is.
Yeah.
Zombie parrot on his shoulder. Why not? Just change all the rules.
But not. Oh yeah, true. I don't think can animals go zombie. We haven't seen that happen yet, have we?
Will they eat them?
We've
Don't they?
seen dead animals lying
Yeah.
around, so I think it's.
So he's
assumed
just got
that
like a
they
floppy
don't.
dead parrot hanging off his shoulder.
Oh, that's sad, man. But yeah, no, that's some good thoughts. And when you said that, actually, with the Aikido stuff, I hope it's a far-fetched hope, but it would be cool to see Morgan and Whisperers interacting. That'd be cool. Because
Yeah.
like I remember even him with the wolves. Like briefly, there was that one episode where they attacked and like. They're all sort of, just swinging at him with knives and stuff, and he'll just gracefully dodge them and whack him with the sticks.
Yeah.
It's fun to see, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, not a bad start. The next one was it was an interesting way to go straight into the second episode with like a flashback episode. So that was the one focused on when sort of Alpha and Beta first met, and it was cutting back between that and then present day what the
Yeah.
Whisperers were up to. What did you guys think?
I want to see his face.
Yeah.
I want to see
Right.
his face so
Right.
bad. Oh, so you got her trying to take this, it's not a hockey mask. It's like a beanie with holes in it, hey? Like, he's the Phantom of the Opera or something. I don't know. Like, his face is just disfigured and I want to see it. I want to see it. That's all I'll say on that, really.
How many theories have you guys heard about that?
0.
Beta's true identity.
Ooh, this is testing my memory. I feel like I have heard one a while ago, but I cannot remember it.
Okay, so there's one that's a fairly primary one. It's like it's not really like a big thing that would be a big reveal or whatever. So yeah, but it's kind of weird. So pretty much the theory is that he's like a famous country singer. And
Okay.
yeah, so the reason is in Fear, there's you see this cover of a CD with a picture of a guy who looks exactly like Ryan Hurst, the actor of Beta, and also there's an episode in season 10 where Magna's listening to a record of and it's a song that the actor of Beth actually wrote quite recently,
Wow.
and it really sounds like Ryan Hurst singing it. So there's a few things like that, and I think there was something as well with what Alpha was humming in the flashback episode as well. Yeah, so a few things like that. It's a bit of a weird theory, but it's interesting at least.
Yeah.
And did you guys, as far as it being a flashback episode, did you guys were you okay with that? Were you a bit annoyed that we weren't seeing sort of the main characters in the story, or how did you feel about that?
Well, for myself, that's full disclosure. I skipped the Michonne flashback episode coming up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think
What, the
you-
one in season 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been season 10. Is that the one where she kills her own kids, or like kills some kids or something?
Yeah, so that was in season
Yeah.
9. I remember, I think
Oh,
I did miss
well,
that
there you
one.
go.
Yeah.
So for a similar reason, I just heard that it was a flashback that didn't really have much to do other than maybe fleshing out the character a little bit more.
Yeah,
And
that
because-
was actually a really good episode.
Oh, no,
You
really?
you can watch the story without it and it all mostly makes sense, but it's a good episode. So
Okay.
worth watching.
I'll get back to it. No, I do like the story. So whenever they sidetracked in the name of character development or character building, especially if it tries to make you empathize with the bad guy, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Is that a Billie Eilish? That bad.
Yeah.
It sounded like.
Yeah, all right. I did this to myself, I guess.
Dang.
But like, I don't really care about how rough a time she had trying to survive. It just kind of makes her look like more of a jerk, in my opinion. Like the way she treats Lydia and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me.
No, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. I think. No, it's stuck in your head, isn't it? I mean, for me, there were definitely some good moments. I think as it was a really good, like, well-made episode. If they said you have to make an episode just focused on the Whisperers, I think that's probably one of the best things they could have done. They did it really well. But I'm like, I could have done without it. That's kind of how I felt. Because I love the main characters in the story so much. That's what I want to see. But it was a good episode anyways. So yeah, there we go. Ghosts is the next one. So this one, it starts off with that really cool, like, I guess you'd call it a montage of I think it's like 50, 60 hours or something like that of just these waves and waves of zombies attacking Alexandria. And so you see it start off, it's like a few, and then it's like, okay, an hour later there's more, and then it's like 12 hours later, and then it's like hour 48, and there's still, no one's had sleep, and they're going through the night. So I thought that was a really awesome opener for that one.
Yeah.
I agree.
Also, just if they've been fighting for however many, like 42 hours or something crazy, how is the body count of all the zombies not just piled up and made a wall around their entire... Like, because we see some getting stuck on, like, the... What do you call those spikes? Like the...
Spikes?
I was going to say like battlements or something like...
Oh, there's
like,
probably a
there's
good
a
name
term.
for it like that.
We'll get there, listeners. But yeah, how is there not a whole wall of zombie bodies? Just
Fair
saying.
point. Yeah, you'd think after a little while that would
There's
solve its own
hordes
problem.
and hordes, yeah.
True. Yeah, no, fair point. After that, they go and meet at the border with Alpha and have a bit of a debate there. Carol pulls out the gun, which I'm sure Isaac wasn't very happy about.
Stupid. Like, how they don't have better, like, tighter wraps on Carol, like the characters. Like, they know that she's off the handle, that she's unpredictable, that she's angry, and she really doesn't like Alpha. And she has a history of acting out and doing things for her own interest. Yeah. So just don't let her come along. And if she comes along, then, like, handcuff her or something. Like, look at the flowers. Look at the flowers, Carol.
You're a liability now.
And then sort of from there for the rest of the episode, there's a lot of the stuff with Carol and her hallucinations. She's taking the pills that keep her awake, and there's a lot, and yet she smiles.
Yeah. Does she though? Does she really smile?
Not really. Hey?
Like, even that, you've got Daryl who's trying to keep a tight eye on her, and like who they clearly have the best sort of trust bond in the whole group, and yet she's still hiding that from him.
Yeah.
And like lies to him and all of that, and even when he's like, you shouldn't be doing that, she just goes and does it anyway.
Yeah.
I just like...
Come on, Carol. You can do better. I definitely, feel you on that one. I really haven't been liking Carol as much this season. Maybe between, like, about the season 6 point, she was sort of, like, going down a bit less, because she was one of my favourite characters before that point.
Right.
And she got a little bit annoying. Or more her storyline, I think, wasn't really going anywhere so much at that point. So I kind of wasn't liking her as much. And then season 9, I thought she was, like they did some really great stuff with her, and I really quite liked her again. But then here she's just like, like literally, putting everyone in danger and just being a pain. And so,
stupid, for lack of a better word. I mean, you can clearly see, we'll get to it in the later episodes, but the stuff she does, you can clearly see that, you're walking right into a trap half the time. What you're doing is reckless is an understatement.
Yeah, that's it.
And furthermore, pardon me,
go for it.
In that one of those hallucinations where she's then hanging upside down, like she's all strung up and everything, was that ever actually explained if that was a hallucination or if that was like an actual thing that happened?
So here's one of my loose ends that I mentioned. So at the end of the episode, then it goes to a shot of the Whisperer who was there and she was shooting at, and and they're sort of lying on the ground and open the eyes and turn into a zombie. And that sort of, to me at least, that confirms that, okay, that bit was actually real of what happened.
Yeah.
But then that hasn't gone anywhere at all. There's been no other mention or reference of it.
I was quite disappointed by that. Like, I thought that would have been a really... And where I thought that was going was that, you know, the rest of the Whisperer clan are going to walk in and see who they think is one of their comrades.
Yeah.
But turns out to be an actual zombie.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been really, really cool to see. But it seemed a bit pointless. Like you say, it's a loose end.
And it is possible that that they'll bring that back, you know, and then in the next half of the season, you never know. But and you could see it working as something like, you know, if that person walks in as a zombie, then they go, oh, have they been killing our people? Or, you know, that could spark something. But there's a few things like that are just a bit like, oh, okay. Was that going anywhere? Or
Well, with the Whisperers, you would never even know if one of your people was dead because they all acted anyway.
That's
like,
true.
You know,
that's very true.
It's like, you know, Sam's doing really well today. Like,
So,
you know,
his
really.
acting is on point.
Yeah.
Really getting
Even
into
tried
it.
to eat one of our own people. Like yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that actually.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
It's like, you know, your friend Bob comes stumbling up the hill, you know, hey, you know, or I guess they whisper to one another, you know, hey, did you want to go grab, what are you doing? What are you,
It's okay, it's just me. It's just, you don't need to act, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'll save my judgment at least till the end of the season to see if they do bring that back. And the other thing in the episode was Aaron and Negan were sort of going out and you know, killing zombies and stuff like that. And then
Damn! Classic Negan.
There it is.
classic Negan.
Classic.
And Aaron got the thing in his eye, and then Negan, you know, helped him out and stuff like that. So
Can I just say, I was really disappointed that he didn't wake up to some spaghetti.
Yeah.
Oh.
That would have been great. That would have been
Do we do
classic
the soundbite?
Negan.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
And I fed him spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Said
had to
Aaron
say that.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's how you earn the trust of Alexandria.
Spaghetti.
It's a custom. No, but as far as that's concerned, like, I get that Aaron still kind of hates Negan after what he did. Like, even though a lot of time has passed,
Yeah.
it still seems like there is that resentment going on, and he's not allowed any weapons, even blunt weapons. I guess especially blunt weapons.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, to what end, sort of as well. Like, it's good that I think Negan was able to save his life, but even after that, he was kind of like, what happened? Did he try and put him back in handcuffs, or was he like?
I think
Did he let him keep the
after
crowbar?
Negan saved his life, then he was like, oh yeah, well you got the crowbar anyway, may as well keep it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that'd be fair in like an average episode if that was just like a normal day. I think it's a bit more understandable that Aaron was like really cranky like that because of the 48 hours or however long of no sleep. So everyone's on edge and there's all this stuff and it's all just built up, and now he's got to deal with this annoying guy who's talking all the time and
Just
being a
knows
pain.
how to push your buttons.
That's it. Yeah. So I guess it's understandable in that sense. And I actually really liked the way they did that throughout the episode. Just you know, Michonne says it to Alpha, you know, we're on edge with, you know, we haven't had any sleep and stuff like that. And you really do feel that, like, I halfway through the episode, I was feeling like exhausted just for them. So I think they did a good job of that.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite episode of the season so far.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that was a good one. The other thing as well, which I really liked, was the whole truck driver thing with. So Daryl is talking to Carol, saying, "Oh, my dad was a truck driver, and he used to have hallucinations and all that." And it seems like a normal scene. There's a few kind of weird lines of dialogue that you go, oh, that's a bit strange, but you sort of just like go with it. But then, when later in the episode she says, "Oh, I'm not some mess-snorting truck driver like your dad or whatever," and he's like, "Well, my dad wasn't a truck driver." That reveal that she's been hallucinating more than we thought she was really well done, I thought.
I agree, because there was a sense that, sorry to cut you off,
No,
there was
no,
a sense that, well, for me anyways, that, like you said, you're like, oh, that doesn't really add up, but you don't really register to a degree. It just sort of feels a bit disjointed, and you're like, oh,
That's it.
not the best writing, I suppose. But then when that happens, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually incredible writing. I really liked that.
That's actually, it's something I love whenever they do that. When you're watching something and you go, oh, that was bad writing, or I don't know about that. But then later there's something that changes and you go, oh, that was actually really clever. Yeah. So, no, it was well done.
Yeah, nice.
The next one, which is my favorite episode of the season, Silence the Whisperers. So this one a lot of it centers around Lydia and Negan. So you've got fairly early on in the episode, Lydia getting beat up and Negan comes in and saves her and accidentally kills the lady. And so everyone's kind of trying to decide what to do from there. I just thought it was, a really... Nothing major happened as far as any action or whatever goes, but I thought it was just really well written. There was some great dialogue. You see you're with Daryl for a lot of the episode. He's going around talking to different people, getting their takes on the situation and trying to, support people as best he can. And I just thought, so you don't like Lydia so much, do you?
I'm trying to keep it in. I don't know if it shows. Every mention of Lydia, man.
Really? Wow.
It's like, say goodbye to Enid, say goodbye to...
It wasn't her fault,
Say
man.
goodbye to Tara, say goodbye to Henry, say goodbye to all of those, but at least we got Lydia, Lydia.
That's where I'm going to
something encyclopedia. I don't know why. There's bits about her that I nitpick. I don't like her face. I don't like how she's all bent over in the way that she walks and that weird half smile that she does.
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay, it's all coming out today.
Probably smells funny as well.
Because of all the worms.
Look, all right, fine. We're on this track, and she puts a rat. I don't know what was her play here, where she puts a rat on the dining table, starts goring it open, and then does the to try and freak out the neighborhood bullies or something like that.
Yeah.
What was she trying to do there?
Yeah, I agree.
This is where we're gonna have our big disagreement, I think.
Oh,
I really like Lydia, but okay. So you go.
I'm the same. I like her character, but even in that part there, I'm like, what are you getting at?
Yet I smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not if you're the rat.
No.
Yeah. Oh, poor rat.
Yeah, I thought you're not gonna intimidate them. They already hate you because this is who they believe you are. What are you trying to get at?
Yeah,
that's it.
And that does come up later in the episode, and between her and Daryl, they're having a conversation. He's saying you can't do stuff like that. You've got to be take the high road and be the better person. Just ignore them.
Because what conversation happens before that? Because she has a conversation with another character, which then leads her to go, all right, I'm going to stick up for myself. And then she decides to do that by stabbing this poor rat.
Yeah, well, I think so. There's Aaron's leading a group. They're training with weapons and stuff like that. And then the three guys as she walks past, they put on a potato sack or whatever it is as a mask. And, they're taunting her and saying oh, let's kill the Whisperers. They're the worst and stuff like that. As well as, saying... I don't know.
Go home.
I can't say the dialogue.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I can't remember it, but you're a freak or whatever.
Suck.
Equivalent of that. Yeah. Yeah. But so they've been taunting her a bit, and then I think there's a graffiti as well of Silence the Whisperers and stuff like that. So, I can't remember exactly, but there's a few bits of that of just the taunting and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's kind of understandable as far as she's a teenage girl and these guys are annoying her and no one's listening to her. She finally gets along with Negan and then she's not allowed to talk to Negan. So she's just angry and she wants to do something just to get back at these guys. So
stab a rat.
Yeah, that's my defense.
That's fair. Yeah.
The rat scene.
Look, I'm gonna definitely give her a hard time.
Yeah.
But I'll add a caveat. I know that I know she's had a rough upbringing.
Yeah.
And what I like so much about Walking Dead is that everyone deserves saving. You might get put in jail if you've done wrong and all of that sort of thing. But the idea that if you are a good enough person that you can be brought into these communities and whatever and act as a community.
Yeah.
I think she has every right to have that shot and to do that.
Yeah.
And then she goes and does other stuff. But, so from that point of view, I like that they're giving her a shot and they're, trying to trust her as an outsider and all of that. I think that's well within what Rick wanted.
Yeah, that's true, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good take on it.
Lydia.
So the other major thing that's sort of happening in that episode is the tree falls down at Hilltop, and there's some pretty good action scenes of defending the
Like
wall.
that panning scene where they're all like, that was
it's like
great.
all one shot.
Yeah.
No, that was really well done. The one scene that I kind of didn't like as much in the episode was Ezekiel about to like jump off the cliff, and then him and Michonne sort of have that moment. Like it wasn't bad, but everything else in the episode, I was like had a big smile on my face, or I was crying because it was so emotional. But that scene, I was like, oh okay, and then rewatching it, it's like, could do without it, but yeah.
It felt like they put that in there just for shock value for the trailer, right?
Probably.
Like, there was no point to that other than being able to put that in the trailer for the season premiere. Just to get people to watch it.
And there was a good line at the end as well. It's like, oh, we probably, wouldn't be good together. Maybe in another universe. Because you wouldn't know, but in the comics, they are together for a brief part. So there you go. Maybe in another universe. It's like,
maybe in a comic book somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you guys have any other sort of thoughts on that episode overall?
Not particularly.
Question about Ezekiel, your boy. Is the actor's contract running out or something? Like, is that why he now has a cancer lump or something?
No, not that I'm aware of, at least. I'm pretty sure. He's like, there's no reason for them to get him off the show. I think there's every likelihood they could do something with it, and they're setting up potential other communities. So if there's another community out there that they come across that has the the stuff they need to actually heal him of the cancer, that's a possibility. Or he could go out in a big heroic way to save everyone later in the season. Who knows?
Yeah, it's up for. So there's nothing that's been. I guess I said we already said we weren't going to talk comic and stuff like that for what could be. So all right, cool. It's out. It's up in the open.
There you go. But there was, so he's not around in the comics anymore, right?
No, he's not. He actually was one of the people on the Pikes in the comics. Which I think is why they're doing this cancer lump. Because a lot of the people who have read the comics are naturally going to go, okay, is he going to survive? Are they going to throw him under the bus somehow?
Yeah.
And it gives that element of, oh, well, what are they actually going to do? Is this their way of just subbing him out?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. Because I know we had, like, of course, Andrew Lincoln had his whole thing expire, and then so did, the actress that does, like, Sasha and everything as well. Like, we all knew that they were sort of coming up, and now, I don't know if, spoilers, I don't know.
Oh, no, okay.
Just with, like, what's been, we're not going to talk about leaks and rumors.
That's all right. I think, well, one thing, this isn't confirmed, they could still be on the show, but one thing that seems to be a hint is when they, like, take on a big new TV show. If it's a movie, that's fine, but, like, Maggie went on to Whiskey Cavalier and then sort of left the show. Sasha went on to Star Trek. And so as soon as you see trailers, you're like, oh, if they've got time to do that, they're probably not doing The Walking Dead. And so the people are worried about Rosita as well, because she's just taken on a new like Catwoman show or something like that.
I was gonna say Michonne.
Oh yeah. What with?
I have no idea, but see this.
Oh right. So they have confirmed that Michonne is going to be leaving the show this season. That's been openly said, and that's not a spoiler. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's upsetting.
Yeah, it's a shame, definitely. So whether or not they kill her or keep her alive, that's still not confirmed. But yeah, I think with the really main ones, like they did with Andrew Lincoln, they tend to announce it beforehand, because I guess they know it'll probably leak anyway and it'll get out somewhere. And I guess it just,
softens the blow a little bit.
Softens the blow a bit, and it lets you know that they've still got good stuff planned afterwards. It wasn't just like, like with Rick especially, like, stay around, don't worry, even after he's gone, we've got good stuff. So yeah. Anyways. There you go. Next episode is called What It Always Is. And so this is, a lot of it's focused around Negan. Do we have a sound effect?
Classic Negan.
Classic Negan.
And it features a great line, which is that one. So Negan followed by Brandon, their whole adventure. Yeah. Adventures.
That guy really annoyed me.
Yeah. Man, Brandon,
Yeah. pick like an overzealous like kid who's just starstruck meeting his hero and trying to do everything to, you know, win his approval. Yeah.
It's like, gets the whistle wrong all the time.
That's how you do the whistle, right? Yeah. Classic Negan.
Classic. Yeah, so, and then I think you also, there's a bit of sort of focus on the flu or whatever everyone's coming down with in Alexandria. Yep. So a bit of that. There's also, I think this episode's where we've got Eugene and the radio situation that he's building in Hilltop.
Yep.
And there's one more thing. Oh yeah, that's right. Ezekiel's cancer lump. So that's where we find out in this episode. So yeah. Any thoughts? Open-ended question.
I mean, it was pretty good. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But that guy just really, really irritated me.
Yeah.
And the thing that I kept thinking of is like, how have you been in this community and no one has picked up that you're a nutcase?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you've obviously been fanboying or fangirling over Negan for quite some time.
Yeah.
And based on his presentation, like, there's no way you would have been able to not have someone pick up on that at Alexandria.
Yeah. And they even put him in charge of Negan, because you see in like episode 1 or something, like Negan's talking to Lydia and he comes along, Negan, get back to work. So like, yeah, like, I don't know.
I mean, unless he's just an incredible actor and a complete psychopath.
But he really doesn't seem all that bright, does he?
No.
He is a complete psychopath, though. Like, we can definitely agree on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty dark. But although there was some funny stuff, like he's like, they're like chewing on straw, and he's like, oh, this could be the new sanctuary, and then he starts like rating the walkers on hotness. He's like, oh, she's 8, don't you reckon? Negan's like, what are you doing, mate? Isn't this the stuff you guys used to do? The same. He's just completely got this whacked idea of what's cool, and but it's funny, at least parts of it. The Eugene radio stuff,
another loose end, kind of, isn't it, for the moment?
Yeah, well, that definitely feels like it's going somewhere. It doesn't feel like a loose end that's probably going to just get left, but a loose end that we've got to look forward to, hopefully that being resolved. There was, I rewatched it fairly recently. There was a funny bit. Nabil, I think is her name, who's Jerry's wife. She like comes in when he's setting up the radio and he's about to test it, and he's saying all these, his Eugene crazy words. He's like, oh, I'm about to. Oh, I can't
do the voice.
I couldn't think of the words to say. But yeah, he said some weird metaphor and all these crazy stuff, and she's just like, wow, that's really cool, Eugene. It's just so funny the way that
you can almost hear her screaming in her head, I cannot begin to tell you how much I don't care.
Yeah. I'm going to have to get that as a soundbite for you. That's a good line.
Okay.
Anyways, but yeah, so, keeps moving on. Anyways, there was like a alright episode for me, but and then we end with him sort of stumbling upon the Whisperers, and that leads into the next episode, which a lot of it is him, Negan, and the Whisperers, and they're sort of doing the whole, initiation, if you'd call it that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that?
I guess this is up to me then.
Only if you got those, no pressure.
Gee, what even happens there? I guess he gets.
So there's like it's done in a pretty comical way. There's like I can't remember what song it is, but there's like sort of a funny country music song that's playing under this montage of him digging the pit and then killing the pig, and like Beta just hates him, and he's like constantly talking and being annoying. So yeah.
And then it gets left behind to be eaten anyway.
Yeah.
Comes back with a classic Negan quote to finish it off.
Yeah. Man, that just makes me laugh out loud every time, because like Beta's just had full on had enough of him throughout this whole episode. Left him to die. Goes back to Alpha. He's just had enough. He's like, oh, he was no use to us anyway, and now he's dead. And so it's like, oh, okay, he's dead now. But then he just comes walking. I'm ready for my skin to just just the most obnoxious, like, he's just like yelling. Everyone's like, oh,
Yeah.
He's just,
And meanwhile, Alpha's looking at him like, you had one job, man.
Yeah.
Whisper. It's literally in our name.
Something about him, man. He's hilarious.
It's one of those episodes that's like fun, but I couldn't really tell you what. Like, there's no key moments as far as development or anything that happens within the plot other than what you've just described.
That's fair. Actually, I'll go over a few other things that happen. There's also Carol and Daryl go out. She says, "Oh, we're just scouting, looking for Negan," but actually she's wanting to go and find Alpha, find where the Horde is, and they end up, by the end of the episode, they capture one of the Whisperers to take him back. So there's that whole thing, and all the trust issues between Daryl and Carol. He goes searching through her backpack and all that, and then also a bit more of Siddiq just trying to work out what's going on with the sickness and stuff like that. So, but yeah, like you said, it's sort of no major developments, but enough stuff that sets it up for what's to come, I suppose. And I really did like the scene as well. That's at night when Daryl and Carol are sort of spying on the Whisperers, and then I think she accidentally just steps on a twig or something dumb like that. But then it's a pretty suspenseful scene. It's done well, where the Horde's coming through the woods and they're like hiding behind the trees, and you don't know if one of them's going to turn around and actually be a Whisperer, or even if it is a walker attacks one of them, then it's going to alert everyone else. So it's a well done scene. I thought I liked it. Next one we've got Open Your Eyes. So really the key thing for this is Siddiq, and he just really, what are we going with? Kicks it out of the park. Is that a
Knocks
saying?
it out of the park.
Knocks it out. Yeah.
What sport are you playing?
His acting is amazing in that episode, and the character, just the way that I really liked. I loved Siddiq in the episode, and then they kill him right at the end.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's one of those like last minute saves. I was like, come on, someone's gonna burst in, someone's gonna save your life, all of that. But man, what a crazy reveal.
Yeah.
Crazy, hey. Yeah. There's not often in the show that I actually get upset that they kill off a character. Like I'll get sad, there's sad deaths and stuff like that, but usually it's okay, I get it. It's in service of the story, and I'm happy that it's there at least. But with this, I was really like, oh, I just wish they didn't kill him off, because he was really going places, and I really liked him. But but anyways, it was a good episode.
It's that added sting as well when it's a doctor as well. Just any kind of medical professional, you're like, they need those, man. Don't kill them.
And now the only one you've got left is creepy Dante, spy who's making everyone sick. So
he gets pretty quickly discovered, doesn't he?
That's right, straight away in the next episode. Yeah. But I thought it was a really good episode. Just Siddiq, the acting and everything, just really awesome, and seeing all the flashbacks. I listened to that I was watching it in my sort of surround sound setup, and the way they edited the sound with the flashbacks to have like the clicking and some of the screaming and stuff like that in there, it sort of like moves around and behind you, and it's really really well done. And then it just goes silent as he like jumps into the water. So yeah, it's cool. It's well made. What else happens there? There's there's a bit of stuff. I think this has been in some of the other episodes as well, just going on with Aaron and Mary, who's we know is her name now, or Gamma, and they're sort of gradually building a bit of trust between each other. So it's that kind of seemed to be kicked to the side for me a little bit. Like, it'll set it up briefly in one episode, and then like it's unclear whether Aaron told everyone that she's been gutting walkers and putting it in the stream, and seemed a bit sidetracked to me. But any thoughts from you guys?
I quite liked it. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
More so the way that the direction they went in, Gamma becoming Gamma, I suppose. But then almost in the space of 1 or 2 episodes, her allegiance does appear to completely shift.
Yeah,
I thought that was quite interesting. But yeah, I suppose that little arc was a little bit sidelined to a degree, wasn't it?
Yeah,
or not fleshed out enough.
I get that's it. More, not fleshed out enough. because also you see them, they're sort of, they run into each other the one day, but then it comes back and they're constantly seeing each other. So it's not quite like you can come up with a reason, like they're probably the guards for that part of the boundary or something like that, but it's just not quite established why they're seeing each other all the time or how they always come across each other. So just a few weird things like that, but no, overall it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Of all the noises to make in somebody's ear, like this was me who was holding him back before.
Yeah.
Like he could have had any other noise instead. He could have been like,
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do an edit of that scene. So
I'm never going to be able to watch that episode in the same way again now.
Thank you, Isaac. And lastly, we've got The World Before, which is the mid-season finale. So a lot of this one is sort of focused around Michonne and Judith and sort of their crew. And they're traveling to Oceanside because they've got a call from there saying they need help. So there's the stuff that happens in the library. Luke bumps into this random guy who turns out to, so he claims at least, have an island, like a military base or something like that. And so him and Michonne, by the end of the episode, go off on a boat to go and find that, in hopes that that's sort of his way of repaying his debt for being, causing all the trouble in Oceanside, but also
I feel like getting slashed with a sword is penance enough.
True.
It depends on who you are.
Yeah. Well, and he just wants to get home, so they're like, okay, we'll give you a boat if you give us weapons when we get there, so that we can use them for the Whisperers and stuff like that. So fair. So we got sort of that thing happening, and then there's also Carol and the whole crew of diverse and likable main characters all go out at once and then get trapped by the end of the episode.
Because of whom?
Because of Carol.
Because of Carol.
And her, what's the word I'm going for? Naivety, maybe? I don't know.
Rashness, selfishness, arrogance, pig-headedness.
All of the above.
Well, the one defense she had, they didn't have to follow her in there. Like, that was their call. They could have just been, well, you crazy bee. Like,
we tried to warn you.
But this is, surely she's learned this from past seasons. She can't just go out on her own because these are people who care about her.
Yeah.
And even if she leaves a note and says, don't follow me, they're going to follow her anyway. So, yeah. Oh, come on, Carol.
Yeah. The second she ran, the first thing that pops into my head is Akbar.
It's
a trap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
It's a trap. We need that as a soundbite, man. We haven't even got that on our Star Wars podcast.
Oh, I'm afraid to. I feel like we'd get in trouble somehow.
Maybe.
I'll look into it.
Okay.
But like Alpha is standing there, like a little meerkat, like kind of just pops up and is like, "Oh, you're on the wrong side of the neighborhood," and then just like runs away.
Yeah. You're like, okay, not suspicious at all.
That was a good moment, actually. Just like it was sort of in the middle of the nowhere. They're just walking, and there's like, oh crap! It's Carol. It's Alpha. Like, oh no.
Well, the tension was good.
Yeah.
But the whole chase me. All right. And you're like, really?
I'll just go into this cave on my side of the island.
She's like looking back.
This way, follow me.
Yeah.
That was actually a good impression.
Oh, I think about it way too much. This stupid voice.
A lot of people weren't a big fan of the cliffhanger. What do you guys think?
There's been worse ones.
Yeah, there has. Yeah,
There have
that's
been
Much worse. It didn't really faze me all too much. And
yeah.
I think the saving grace is that it's a mid-season finale. It's not a 6-month break. It's just over the Christmas period, really.
Yeah, that's true.
So, okay, they're in a predicament here. I know they're going to get out of it. Someone might die potentially, but
And
it's not the worst.
They're not going to learn from that at all, even when if and when somebody dies.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen again later.
Mm.
Like, I think I sent a Snapchat to Ben, like, after I watched that season finale, and it's like, Walking Dead, more like walking group of people who constantly put other people in danger and, like, never learn any lessons ever.
Wow.
It was quite mad.
Pretty accurate.
It was quite mad.
Not too far off. So I've seen a lot of people, not a big fan of the cliffhanger. Like like you were saying, it didn't faze me too much. Some of the stuff they're saying is, we know they're not all going to die because it's like the main characters and stuff. But still, I'm excited to see how they get out of the situation, and it's enough for me that I go, oh, this is cool. I'm excited to see where it's going from here. So I didn't have a
even
huge
if they all
problem
make
with
it out, the fact that they found the horde, they were trapped with the horde.
Yeah,
it's still cool that we now get to see the threat of Alpha's horde like right in the flesh. They now have to deal with that. Like I'm interested to see how they get out of that.
Definitely.
Even if no one dies, I think that's going to be cool in and of itself.
Yeah, I guess the main thing which you could say is a fair complaint is just that like they all fell into the hole. Like surely one person goes and everyone else stops, or even a couple people, but like everyone, there was a whole group of them, one after the other, and then Daryl's walking in after them. Surely they'd be yelling, Daryl, don't come
or you hear
yeah, you hear one person do that goofy scream as like, you know, that as it like falls down on the thing, and like then you go, oh, maybe I shouldn't follow that person to my doom.
Yeah. So that's a fair complaint, but I didn't mind it overall. And overall, pretty good episode. Not the best mid-season finale, I didn't think. Particularly one thing is that we've had like maybe 2 or 3 episodes now where we haven't seen Negan at all. And so and that's actually happened a few times. There's also, this is the first episode where we see Michonne, because like a good 3 or 4 episodes before that, I think it was at the end of Silence the Whisperers. So episode 4, they leave for Oceanside, and then there's 3 whole episodes you don't even see Michonne, or she's not even brought up, and then you see her again. So it's not a major complaint, but yeah, it's kind of, it feels a little bit disjointed just overall for me with some of those things where storylines will kind of disappear and then come back again ages later. But
Sorry, if you wish it so, and I know this is the second time I've done this episode, but I found the Snapchat that I sent to you.
Okay.
For some reason, I saved it, but here it is, with the caption "Just die, Carol."
Walking Dead, more like walking group of people who keep making rash decisions and getting everybody killed around them.
I love that you saved that just in case it would be handy.
Well, it's true. If I ever for a second thought back and went, I wonder how I felt about that, I could just look at past me and go, oh yeah, that's how I felt.
I am so glad that's saved.
I'll make a montage of every episode from now.
Yeah. So I guess that's the majority of the season overall. Were there any other standout moments or overall thoughts from you guys?
Negan.
Yeah.
He's a great
Negan.
character, isn't he? Yeah. Classic Negan.
Damn!
Yeah.
Classic Negan.
So I guess that was one like minor disappointment for the mid-season finales. We didn't see him. I was like hoping we'd see where that's going, but oh well.
I think we have already, not in this season or in any of the episodes actually, but in the trailer for season 9.
Oh yeah. There's you can.
Well, I think we're thinking of the exact same thing. There was it might have been an Instagram trailer or one of the small little short trailers. You see a couple of zombies, then one of them turns around, and I could be wrong, but I think the zombie the Whisperer sort of smirks a little bit, and you can almost see the lean back.
Yeah, the classic lean back.
Yeah. Like,
Whisperer
is that
Negan?
Yeah. So we may have already seen Whisperer Negan.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's all a play. That's my hope for this season.
Yeah.
I hope it's some elaborate scheme and he's actually good and he's not just fallen back into like being with whatever group he feels he'll survive with. That he actually cares about, Judith for one. Like he has to care about Judith.
Definitely.
He's already shown that he does. And so like...
But even with those 2 people that they bumped into,
like,
you could see so much empathy and growth in his character there.
And Lydia, however much maybe Isaac's got a bit of resentment for her, Negan likes her.
What's one of the other words that rhymes with Lydia that she uses as well?
Encyclopedia.
Lydia.
It's just Lydia. Haven't you met Lydia? Lydia the tattoo lady. I don't know if there's another one that rhymes, but yeah.
She's an idiot.
Oh wow.
I'm just thinking
as far as rhymes go, but
you can put 2 and 2 together.
Say no more. That's actually with the Negan stuff. That's a good segue into just like so for the next half of the season. What other stuff are you guys looking forward to, hoping for. Theories are welcome, but just like, yeah, what are you looking forward to, and what do you hope happens in the next half of the season?
Yeah, I want to see more of like that episode. I can't remember which one it was, but where it starts off with the hours upon hours and then days upon days of wave after wave of zombie. Like that really cemented just how much of a threat the Whisperers are.
Absolutely.
So I want to see that more, like more of that tension where they're like, man, we are absolutely overwhelmed. We're in over our heads. We have all of these communities and all of these weapons at our disposal, but they have the one thing that just keeps on coming.
Yeah.
I love that. So I hope that we get more intense and really, really, really full of tension moments like that.
Pretty much exactly what Liam was saying, and then Negan as well. I like a classic Negan.
Classic Negan. Bring him back.
Yeah.
Damn!
There it is.
I need a version of that where it just says classic Negan without the damn.
Yeah.
I'll keep both because they're both classic.
They're both good. I haven't thought a whole heap about.
You're the host.
I know.
One job.
As far as just like, I don't know, I like to go in with a fresh mind. I don't like to think of too many things like, oh, I really hope they do this. But yeah, I guess just some of those loose ends. I just hope that they do pull it all together in a satisfying way, that there's not too many things left unanswered from the first half of the season. I'm really curious to see what Michonne's going to find on the island, whether he was telling the truth, or what that would look like. That's something that we haven't really seen before, so that's gonna be interesting.
Crazy theory. And I'm sorry to burst that what you just said about like not wanting to go into it fresh and all that
that's
sort
fine,
of thing.
that's fine.
But suppose that island is the one that Rick gets carried to in the helicopter. And so she reunites with Rick, and then that's why we don't see her in the TV series anymore, because she wants to stay with him.
She's going to go to the movie.
Yeah, the big screen. The silver screen, is that what it's called? Gold?
Yeah, silver screen.
Silver screen.
Yeah.
Actually, is that on the cards? Is she supposed to join Rick in those movies?
I have no idea.
Nothing's been announced or confirmed at the moment, but it's a possibility for sure. Nothing's off the table. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would make sense to me. Helicopters going to a military base of some kind.
Yeah, and makes sense why she's would be leaving the show for a while. And then I don't know, with the actress's schedule as well, it's a lot easier just to do a movie rather than a whole show. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no.
Bookmark this episode. We'll look back at this.
Definitely, yeah. And I guess just other stuff for me. Just really hopefully some good action stuff as far as Whisperers go. I really want to see something cool happen with the Horde and whatever's going on there. So, because it's built up quite a lot of tension that something big's going to happen now as far as a war, or whether it's a full-on war or not. Just I'm excited to see what happens with that. Yeah.
Well, and I think in the trailer there's Beta at Alexandria, isn't there?
Oh yeah, that's
I
true. He's like sneaking around.
Yeah, I don't know if he makes it inside the walls. They make it appear that way, but he's definitely outside what appears to be the walls of Alexandria.
Cool.
So that'd be cool, having Beta inside Alexandria, just walking around.
Yeah.
Push him down another elevator. He'll be all right.
Yeah, definitely. And there was another. This was a while ago. I heard this sort of talked about, but you could do. There's so much potential to do really cool stuff. So similar to the No Way Out sort of situation in season 6, where all the big zombie horde comes into Alexandria and they're all sort of in their houses and stuff like that. It'd be so cool to see a situation like that, but where there's zombies walking past and then one of them reaches out and opens the door, and there's just that extra layer of, okay, they're not just stupid bumbling things now. There could be real people in here. And
well, that's the threat of the Whisperers, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we can deal with zombies to a degree unless there's hundreds and thousands of them.
Yeah.
But now there's that extra threat, like you say, where we can actually handle these ones, but we have no idea if one of them is going to whip out a gun or a knife and shoot or stab us at any given moment.
You can't just casually go up and whack it. Like, you got to be watching their hands if it's about to go for you. Or,
it just adds that extra layer of tension, which I love.
I'll be looking forward to it for sure, except if they advertise it as all out war.
They've already done that, so
we know better.
Yeah, true. Very true. Hopefully not.
Just look at the flowers, AMC.
But yeah, they haven't really given us a whole lot as far as this is what you're going to get. So it's very open-ended, I think. Well, that's what it seems for what they could do. And I think as far as the comics go, so the comics, like, I won't go into specific spoilers, but the comics are finished now. It was quite an abrupt ending. It was literally 1 week. It was like, okay, this is the final issue of The Walking Dead. And like, what?
Yeah.
Really? Like, it just came out of nowhere. It was a big surprise. So pretty much after the Whisperers, there's another storyline with like another community that they find, and then it sort of like just leads into the end of the series from there. So we're really, especially without Rick, we're really getting into territory where they can just take it in a very different direction from the comics, and where there's really no predefined path that they're going to take. So even for season 10, they could do anything really. They could go in a completely different direction, and yeah, it's exciting because all the other seasons pretty much up until now, we've had a rough idea of the major events and what's going to happen, but now we're really getting to a point of just, anything could happen. So it's cool. Nice. It's exciting.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. I think that'll wrap up our thoughts on season 10, but really keen to get into doing sort of week by week episodes. That's going to be fun. So we'll do a few quick segments maybe before we wrap up the show. So one which I'm hoping, we'll see how it goes, but I'm hoping to keep this sort of going throughout the show is just to call back to some of the earlier seasons 1 to 9, because really we're not going to have a big opportunity to talk about them that much, but there's so many good moments, so much great stuff to talk about from those seasons. So I want to just dedicate a little bit of time sort of in each episode just to call back to maybe a scene that we like or an interesting discussion point. You had a good one last week about Otis and Shane and stuff like that. So pretty much anything goes really, as long as it's from seasons 1 to 9. And yeah, just so we can get the opportunity to talk about that a bit. So
I like it.
Yeah, Isaac, what have you got for us today?
You don't like it now.
Okay, so that's right. Okay, so the one I'm taking today for my did we got a name for this or?
Flashbacks, maybe. That was like, I don't know, flashback.
Okay.
I don't know. That was like a word.
AMC's The
Walking
Dead.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Actually, maybe that'll stick around. We can get the soundbite for that. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Any ideas are welcome.
It's a blank slate.
It's up in the air for now.
Okay. It's kicked out of the park.
That's a good one.
So I'm taking you to the very opening episode of season 3.
Okay.
I believe this is where the first shot we see is of them clearing out this house. Where you've got, Kyle and Rick and a very pregnant Laurie as well. Yeah. Is the start of season 3?
That's right.
Okay. I like the routine checks that they're doing, scavenging the houses, checking each rooms. It's a big step up, and you can see they've clearly learnt from the first 1 and 2 seasons sort of how to clear a house and make sure that it's safe.
Yeah.
And that right there was the type of like apocalypse scavenger survival things that I'd been hungry for, stuff that I wanted to see.
Breaking into houses, looting things.
Yeah, exactly.
We've come full circle now.
All right, I'm in the same boat as you. Fine. Steal all the stuff. Loot and pillage. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah, that's cool. And that whole scene, actually, that's going to be similar to my one. I'll go
Funny
after Lynn, but in the sense of that whole scene plays out without any dialogue. It's just, they've got sound effects and stuff, but no music or anything. They're just going through this house, and yeah, it's cool. It's a well done scene.
Yeah. I'd wait at least a year before I go smashing shop windows and stealing giant TVs out of it.
Just to make sure that it really is the apocalypse.
Yeah, just double check.
Throw a couch through a window or something. I don't know what they usually do. Okay.
Liam.
I am going to take us back to, I can't remember the specific episode, and it's literally just come to me now, but I'm like, this was really, really good.
Yep.
The episode where they're on the freeway, it's in season 2, I think towards the beginning.
Yeah, I think this is the very first episode.
Probably.
With the horde on the freeway.
Yeah, I really liked that, and the sense of panic, Daryl saving T-Dog? Was it T-Dog?
Yeah. You're going to say T-bone? T-bone steak.
I am a carnivore. But
So
I
are all the
love that.
walkers.
You know, like they're hiding under the vehicles. I think there was some on top, weren't there?
Yeah,
On the top of the
that's right.
caravan?
Dale's on top.
Yeah, like, I loved that. That was a really, really cool episode. And that set the tone from the get-go. I loved that.
I remember that being just really suspenseful. And
Yeah.
Andrea's like in the toilet or whatever of the RV.
One manages to get in. and-
Yeah. Just really, everyone holding their breath, and you're there on the couch watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the first season of Walking Dead, I wasn't sure yet whether I was going to be afraid. Whether I was going to,
Big tough man.
get scared of the zombies or not, because,
Yeah.
I'm not a horror kind of guy.
Yeah.
I can handle a bit here and there. But yeah, scenes like that one made me kind of on edge, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm preparing myself for a jump scare. I don't know. These days I'm a lot more desensitized, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, exactly what you said.
And like you, I'm not a big fan of jump scares either. They do them sometimes in Walking Dead, but I love a good scine like that one where it's not relying on jump scares. There's just the suspense is just
looming
so
threat.
thick, and that was a good one. Really well done. This is a coincidence. My one is quite similar to Isaac's.
This happens all the time, listeners.
Yeah,
This is why I don't like going
I've got it
first.
written down here.
I wanna
so
see
you
the
can't-
notes.
You can't.
Okay.
Is there timestamps on that?
Yeah. The phone went under the table a bit there.
So mine's actually the opening of an episode in season 7. I'm pretty sure it's episode 13. It could be 14. I'd have to double check.
Okay.
But it's the majority of the episode is set at Hilltop with Maggie and Daryl are sort of hiding there. The Saviors don't know they're still alive, or they don't know Maggie's still alive and Daryl's escaped from the sanctuary. So they're sort of hiding as the Saviors, Simon comes and pays them a visit.
Yeah. Oh,
In that
Simon.
basement.
Yeah, actually, I'll save some stuff because there's a lot of good stuff in that episode, him and Gregory and all that. But just the very opening of that episode, it's like this beautiful musical montage. I think it's a good maybe 5 or so minutes long. Just with again, like your one, no dialogue. This one does have music. It's got some sound effects still, but just this really beautiful music. And just sort of going around showing what's been happening at Hilltop, sort of the day-to-day life of Maggie leading and trying to organize everything. And there's a really good moment as well of Daryl, who's just arrived there, I think 1 or 2 episodes prior, and he's just sort of like sitting there, just stabbing his knife into some wood or something like that, but just like bumming around. And
Yeah.
but just the look on his face, you can see he's feeling so bad about like causing Glenn's death and all that happened there. And then Maggie comes up to him and brings him dinner, and just the look he gives her and the music at that moment, it just always makes me tear up. It's like,
Aw.
it's really well done. And and just that whole opening is really good. So yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
cool.
No looting and pillaging going on there.
Yeah, that's right. We're going a bit over the hour, but maybe we'll try another segment. We'll see how it goes. We can cut it if it doesn't go so well, or we can leave it in, but we'll see how we go. So this was actually your idea, Isaac.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna let you take it away. Do you want me to intro what it's about?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least from what I can remember, you can change it up and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I think from what you told me, so your idea was something like you give someone a situation, either you're in this location or you're here or whatever's going on, and either, I don't know, the zombie apocalypse breaks out then, or a herd of zombies comes by, whatever it is. You're in this situation. How do you escape, or what do you do to survive?
it.
Yeah, so there's always a starting point with the zombie apocalypse, right? There's going to be somebody in their day job doing something when around the corner starts hobbling, I'm going to say a horde. Let's say a big enough crowd that, you need to get away.
Yeah.
And in that particular setting, how are you going to do that? What's your nearest weapon, How are you going to... And I guess what are we going to say, like a minute? Give the person a minute.
Okay, sounds good. I think the music goes for like a minute maybe.
Oh,
so
great. There you go.
We'll have some intense
Here we
music
go.
to put you in the mood. We're springing this all on Liam
Yeah,
very
so
last.
yeah,
this-
He's not
This is going
prepared
to be
at all.
interesting.
Yeah, a bit of sweat building on the forehead there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a profession,
Okay.
and then you're going to be in the building of that profession. When the music starts, that's when they're coming around the corner, and you're going to say, what are you going to do?
All right. Do I have to like get in character? Or
Not necessarily.
Oh, you can
if
just be
if you
you.
want to.
All right. Let's do this.
Or in character if you want, whatever, really. No
And
rules.
we're assuming. Is it fair to say as well that we're assuming that these sort of zombies are like the walkers from Walking Dead? Like
Same rules as the show.
they
yeah.
can't necessarily climb and jump and all those
Yeah.
crazy abilities
Yeah.
that like World War Z and all that.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
all right. So this is just the first thing I thought of. You're a librarian
Ooh.
and you're inside a library.
Go. Oh my gosh, this is so stressful already.
They're coming around the corner.
They're around the corner. Look, I quickly glance around the library to see if there's some kind of book that's going to help me in this scenario. I instantly realize that that's a bad idea. Poke my head out the door. It's time to run. Out the door, I yell at the other staff, a couple of people who are reading books. Everyone looks at me weird because you're supposed to be quiet in libraries, but I'm like, guys, we're about to die. Oh no, the music's getting softer. This is so stressful. Look, I'm just going to run.
Okay.
I'm going to try and climb on top of the building. Have they seen me? Have the
You've
zombies seen me?
attracted them with your calling.
In hindsight, that was a really bad idea. Alrighty, I look for a bin, something that I can climb to the top of the building with, thinking zombies aren't really going to do that. I'm also yelling at the other guys silently. That's terrifying. Come, quick. We got to get on top of this. So, yep, we're climbing on top of the building now.
Yeah.
We're on top of the building. I'm helping people. We're all on top. All right, we're on top of the building now.
Okay.
Are we at the minute
Where
mark
do we
yet?
go from here?
Look, we just
On
sort of
top of
sit
the
down
building.
and...
You trapped yourself on the building.
Well, we've established that they can't climb, so I'm just going to sit there and hope for the
Okay.
best now.
Hope for
Dry
the
out in the
best.
hot sun.
Well, look, I'm just going to sit on the building for a while, and we're going to remain out of sight.
Okay.
Okay.
Move away, but we're going to keep an eye on the horde,
Yeah.
and we're going to try and we're just going to sit there and hope for the best.
Hope
You know,
for
like
the best.
let's hope that they move along.
Okay. Okay.
We'll stay out of sight, so they're not like, oh, food.
Okay.
Hope for the best. Maybe
Hope for
throw
the
some
best.
sticks in the
Hope for the
distance. Yeah.
Oh,
wow, that
yeah,
was so
throw some-
stressful.
There we go.
All right.
That was.
Can
yeah.
I suggest something now?
Okay.
The other two people who are not the
Yep.
the person
yeah.
in question,
Yep.
can we rate on a scale of 1 to 10? From like 10 being he's joining the horde as the newest member of the undead, and 1
like
that he got away
Okay.
in that situation.
Okay. Oh. Hmm.
So I feel like on the roof there, like, because they stick around until like easily nightfall. So
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe. Oh, I'll be generous. I'll say like a 7.
I was
maybe.
gonna say 7. So there you go.
Okay, because you'll survive in the moment, but like long term,
We need a new game
you're
plan.
stuck on the roof.
What I
and
do
no
like
food or
though is
anything.
you'd be like exactly like everyone else ever in the zombie pot. Like, oh, there's something coming. Look around, wave to people, and then just run. So like that's
Fight or
perfectly
flight, man.
normal. Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh,
Good
I
one.
enjoyed that very much.
That was a new kind of stress.
Sorry
In a
for the zombie
library. No, no,
noises as well.
got-
No, that made it so much better.
Yeah,
But a
some-
library of all places. I'm like, there is literally nothing here at my disposal other than maybe throwing a book at a zombie.
Yeah.
On the off
yeah.
chance that manages to incapacitate one, which is slim,
Yeah.
there's still
Worth
a horde
sh-
that's
worth a
chasing.
shot. Yeah. There you go.
you
Okay,
go.
so
Make some
maybe
paper planes out of
maybe
pages.
you wouldn't
and
do so
throw them
well
in
in
the
the library. Good cardio for today, at least. That got
Yeah.
your heart going.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Oh well, I think maybe we'll wrap up the show there. That was good fun.
Excellent.
Good to hear you guys your takes on season 10, and yeah, looking forward to the
yeah.
rest of the season. So yeah, we'll
Absolutely.
It's
be we're recording this. I think it's 1 or 2 weeks out of when we're going to start up the season again. So I'm not sure exactly when I'll publish this, but yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Make sure that you stick around and listen as we get into that. And
And to find out if I made it off the roof.
oh yeah, that's the real big question. That's gonna yeah. You can email in maybe for the answers.
That's it.
Awesome. Oh, speaking of which,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I
talking of
almost
which.
forgot that. You can do this.
Okay, yeah.
how's
Listeners
that?
with all questions and suggestions can go to
Hey.
turnsounds@gmail.com. We have a little comments sort of thing you can fill out on our website as well, and that's just www.turnsounds.com.
Love it.
Good website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy.
And on there's a pile of other shows that we do as well. So if you like this and you're interested in other stuff, make sure you check that out.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But that's been us for now. So yeah, we'll see you whenever the show starts up. And thanks so much for listening.